and you were talking about like people reassessing, and hopefully we'll see good things next year. I've seen so many fighters where they've just said like fucking they're training at home right now. They bring their coaches or whatever, and they set up like mats and stuff in a kitchen or something like that, and they're training at home. I know. I'm not sure if she's still training at ATT right now, but Gillian Robertson, it looks like she's kind of doing something similar.
That is my main training partner. Yeah. So I live with Dean Thomas, and we all kind of left together from American Top Team, and I stay with Dean in Port St. Lucie, so it's almost Central Florida, still technically South Florida, but Jillian lives 2 blocks away, and primarily it's just us three. We do add people here and there. Right now, we have another guy named David Evans, an IMF veteran, silver and bronze medalist at Worlds, but and Greg Hardy's part of the team, and a handful of other people, but um, it's just her and I, and because of the same weight, we train very productively together. It's been like that for almost 3 years, but at Dean's house and away from ATT, it's been like this for pretty much the entire year since maybe April or May. Um, and man, it's actually the most convenient thing. I wish I would have had this earlier. As much as I love, all these gyms I've been to, the big gyms, American Top Team, Rufus Sport, Dwayne Ludwig's, and just the list goes on. Um, this is a family. A team's great. The team's awesome. You're always going to have bodies. That's an amazing thing, especially at American Top Team. There's an abundance of bodies. The only problem is, even though there are phenomenal coaches there, you're not going to get the attention you really want and possibly even deserve, especially for all that hard work you do. So having Dean Thomas here working with Jillian and I and literally looking at us the entire time, making sure that everything is down to a T, there's a lot of one-on-one hand guidance of like, no, you should do this, no, you should do that, and it's a proper mentorship that I believe her and I both need, and it's a great time, man. We literally, there's in the garage, there's mats. So
Yep.
I just finished practice, I cooked, and then now I'm doing this, and later on tonight doing it again. So we go in the garage, do some work, whatever the case may be, whatever Dean has in store for us that day, and then we live out our day doing whatever we do, and then do it again.
And adding on to that, Gillian Robson is incredibly strong. I've heard so many people talk like rolling with her, and they said like, yeah, she's just incredibly strong, and she's just really damn good. Actually, I had someone on my podcast. She's from she doesn't live too far from me, but she talked about going over to Florida and training with her. And she said like, holy shit, you roll with her, and it's like unbelievable, like
Hmm.
the way she
She
positions, like it's
she it's one of those things. So I mean, people know knee on belly. She puts literally knees on belly. She'll put both her knees on top of you. She will literally, like, it's given. She picks on me, and I do let her drill in certain situations when we are drilling,
right.
and she puts all of her weight on me. And at first she starts knee on belly, and she's kind of making you turn, but to do so, she puts all of her weight on you. And
Yeah.
so you're like, oh, I gotta move. And you're just like, you feel so much heavier than a flyweight. Given she weighs, I think at most 145, 140 usually, and me at most I can get up to like 160 ish. So I get pretty fat, but she feels gigantic. Like, she feels extremely heavy, and that's how you know someone's a very good jujitsu practitioner, because they know how to distribute their weight on someone extremely well. And man, I one thing I like, her and I are very opposite. Besides me being the extrovert and she's the introvert, I'm primarily the striker and wrestler.
Right.
She's primarily the wrestler grappler. So when we get on the ground, like, that's her world. And then on the feet, that's primarily my world.
Yeah.
So when we start doing classes and Dean's like, all right, cool, we're doing jujitsu today. All right, Jillian, I want you to do these 5 passes, transition to position, and then we're going to submission straight from there. And then it's literally transition to different things. And I'm like, all right, cool, Jillian, you go first, and I'm just 100% going to copy you, because this is going way over my head, and I need some type of guidance. So I really, really, really do look up to her when it comes to jiu-jitsu, because
Yeah.
as much as I do know jiu-jitsu and grappling, she's just at another level. So it's the respect factor with that, and accepting that, like, no matter if you're a guy, girl, whatever the case may be, younger, she's all those things. She's kind of somewhat of a guy, but she teaches me a lot. So being able to have that respect factor, and the same thing vice versa, me teaching her stand up, or even certain drills or recommendations, even on the ground. I'm telling you, like, we're a family. She's sadly the stepsister I'd never wanted. and Dean's like the father figure that we both needed, especially at this time.
Yeah, yeah, and it's nice to hear you praise a lot about her. I mean, I'm talking about her skill and her jujitsu. I mean, you see it applied in fights. Like, I mean, I think in her last fight, I think it was maybe Talia Santos. I think she,
Hmm.
if that memory corrects me, but
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, she almost had something in the first. I think it was the first round. Obviously, the second, third round, it kind of just didn't go her way.